Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today, like so many of my colleagues before me, with almost no faith left in this institution. We, Afghan women, feel like broken records in this council. Every session, we repeat the same truths, the escalating and horrendous violations of our rights. Nothing hidden about Taliban's atrocities, and still the war on women continues with impunity. My organization, Femena, has documented 131 edicts issued by the Taliban since their takeover, all designed to erase women and girls from the society. Tell me, what other country on earth imposes a blanket ban on girls' education? What other country denies women health care if they do not have a male chaperone? What other country bans windows with a view of women? Afghan women and girls are being suffocated, their futures stolen, while the international community looks the other way. The draconian propagation of virtue and prevention of vice law codifies these edicts. It controls what we wear, where we go, and even the sound of our voices. Under this law, simply existing as a woman in public is a crime. Peaceful dissent is treated as rebellion. The impact of these edicts goes far beyond restriction. Afghan women face a mental health crisis, depression, continuous trauma, and suicidal thoughts by the complete erasure of their autonomy. Early and forced marriages have surged, and girls are pushed into domestic roles. Women are denied opportunities to work or participate in society, leaving them isolated and trapped. These are not abstract consequences. They are the real daily toll of systematic oppression. The reality is not only restriction, but brutal violence. Femena's latest report details women jailed for peaceful protest, beaten with rods, burned with boiling water, electrocuted, and forced into solitary confinement. They endured sexual slurs, threats of stoning, and night interrogations. Some of them were imprisoned with their children, denied food and fresh air. Hazara women faced escalated abuse targeted for both gender and ethnicity. These are not isolated incidents, but deliberate tools of state terror. The suffering does not fall on women alone. While they are most impacted, marginalized ethnic and religious groups, Hazaras, Uzbeks, Tajiks, Sikhs, are persecuted, displaced, and dispossessed. The Taliban have explicitly threatened to execute LGBTQ+ individuals, including by toppling walls onto them. And yet, despite the horror, Afghan women continue to resist with extraordinary courage. Through underground schools, protests, and secret book clubs, we insist on our humanity. But this struggle cannot and must not be carried on our shoulders alone, while the world shifts towards normalization with the Taliban. Time and again, you have failed to take a strong and unified stand against oppression. Your double standards are impossible to ignore. From gender apartheid in Afghanistan to the ongoing genocide in Gaza, the world has responded with selective outrage, selective protection, and inaction while our lives are destroyed. Respected Council members, the persecution of Afghan women is a human rights crisis. It's a systematic erasure of women from society and a crime against humanity. Now is the time to do something. To that end, though I hold little hope, I urge you, reject recognition or normalization of the Taliban. Until all decrees violating women's rights are revoked, there can be no seat at the UN and no legitimacy anywhere. Recognition under these conditions entrenches oppression. Pursue accountability through international law. Push your governments to support ICC and ICJ mechanisms to hold Taliban leaders responsible for crimes against humanity and systematic gender persecution. Urgently push for the establishment of an independent investigative mechanism to complement the mandate of the UN Special Rapporteur on Afghanistan. Recognize Afghan women's resistance and press governments to fund women-led survival networks, schools, safe houses, legal aid networks, health services, and media, the last lifeline for girls' futures. Guarantee inclusive peace. Afghan women, minorities, youth, and civil society must be represented in all forums shaping the country's future. Exclusion is illegitimate, and the last Doha meeting, where women were deliberately excluded to appease the Taliban, was a shameful betrayal of UN principles. Excellencies, Afghan women are not asking for sympathy or charity. We are demanding justice, accountability, and recognition of our full humanity. If you continue to treat our rights as negotiable and choose silence over action, you are not neutral. You are complicit in the system that buries us alive, and you are accountable to the women of Afghanistan. Thank you.